Okay, I think we should get started. So, hello and welcome everyone. Good evening to all. Thank you for joining this talk, this session. The topic is the mindfulness way of life, which is the favorite topic of mine. I am Archana. I'm a yoga teacher and founder of Otis Yoga and Wellness. I will be the host for today's talk. And the mindfulness topic is very close to my heart as well, because yoga is another discipline of mindfulness. Okay, and in today's world where our attention is stated with social media and so other things, mindfulness is very, very important, especially in this time of pandemic where a lot of people are stressed, anxious. They are going through a lot of challenges like job loss and so on. So this mindfulness is a tool. We can use it to bring that happiness, to bring that to release our stress and anxiety. So I will not talk much about it. Let me introduce markets, diabetes, and CV. He's also a mindfulness practitioner and coach and an expert for healthcare ecosystems. He regularly conducts workshops and seminars on mindful living with diabetes, patient centricity, 360 leadership. And yes, and of course, he's going to talk about how we can use this mindfulness as a way of life currently. So before I hand over to Shailendra ji, I know mindfulness is attention. So your attention is very, very important. So I would like to ask everyone to keep your phones away, keep it on silent mode, and give your full 100% attention to this session, to the talk, so that you can get so much from this talk. So over to you, Shailendra ji.
Thank you very much, Archana ji, for the very kind introduction. Hello and welcome all. So pleasure to see you. Thanks for coming together for this wonderful session, which we will run together. So I'm just a facilitator. I don't boast to be a coach or something. I'm a lifelong practitioner for several of other things, just to help each other walk the way of life. So I very much count on you to participate, engage, and also ask questions when we have the opportunity after our discussions. I would like to start with a big thank you to Hindu Central, Mr. Varaprasad, Raj, Archana ji, Sushant, and everyone who helped to organize and put this together. And I believe this is a good beginning for our mindfulness community. And as you can already see, the people with the same drive, Archana ji, she is a yoga and mindfulness coach and practitioner herself. So we are all in the same boat here. And let's try to help each other to navigate our journey of life. So with this, if you allow me, I'll try to share a couple of slides. Intention is not to bore you with the slides, but I'll use them as cues for our discussion. I hope this is good and we have good time for our discussions, for chit-chatting, and for anything else we want to do together today. So let's talk. And with this, if you allow me, I would just ask you to take 30 seconds, take a deep breath, and one more, and then please help me with answering some of the questions in the chat box. Can you give me 1 or 2 words? How are you feeling now? Feeling. The first thing which comes to your mind. Just put it in the chat box. Great. Wonderful. Happy, bored, tired, joyous, enthused, anything what you feel. Good, curious, looking forward to. Wonderful. Relaxed. Wow, I'm so happy to hear that. All right, so we do have some of bit of gray matters scratching here. Please allow me to ask you the next question. What has been your biggest learning in the last 6 months? And again, feel free to use a couple of words or just one word. And as you know, I'm already talking in the context of what we have gone through in the last 6 months. The times have been very different. They have been very interesting. That is the word I try to use, but some people call it very difficult as well. So what comes to your mind and the way you have felt about it? What has been your biggest learning? It could be the Zoom meeting, I don't know. Whatever you think has been your Zoom. Oh, yes, it's already there. Wonderful. Carrying people along. Yes. There were things which we experienced which were never happening. There are things which we started new, and there are things which we will never go back to normal, as we say. Being centered within, family oriented. Yes. What else? What else? Being patient. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Sometimes life has to really take different turns to teach us a lot. Go with the flow. Wonderful. Wonderful. What else? Great. So let's move on to the last question for the day. And I already have the answer based on what you said in the last two questions. But if you may allow me to ask again, what is your expectation of today's session? And I will not spend a lot of time on this, but I will definitely request you to put your word on this so that I can fine tune and I can live up to your expectations. And we will talk about expectations a bit more in a while. Reflecting on life and its purpose. Is there anything specific we are looking forward to in our session? Please, this is our time to share with each other. Looking for tips, exactly. And I'm here to share some tips and tools and do some practice together to walk the path. Equanimity, wonderful, wonderful. Linked to diabetes, great. Not only diabetes, but a lot of chronic disorders, acute disorders, and a lot of other problems which we face in day-to-day life. Either validation of knowledge or learn something new. Wonderful. Contemplation. Great, great. So thanks a lot again. And with this, I appreciate your participation, engagement on this. I would move to some of the specific discussions on this. And if you please allow me, I'll take the opportunity to also inform you that this session will be recorded. I hope this is okay with everyone. If you have any questions, please drop us a message or a mail if you do not want it to be recorded, or if you have any other ideas on this. With this, I would move on to the session and some of the slides. What you will see, I will just use some of the slides as cues. I'm not going to read each and every slide, but what we are going to discuss today, as I said, we'll start with understanding and making sense of what is happening around. Uncertainty is a very commonly used term, oft interpreted, misinterpreted. What about our thoughts, feelings, emotions? And then we'll talk about the beauty of acceptance and surrender. We will also delve and talk to each other about being before doing. We are human being, but we became human doing. And then how do we manage our mind and body by being in a state of being? We will delve more into mindfulness. I'm pretty sure all of us have some brush with different practices and some knowledge about mindfulness. I will try to simplify so that we all are on the same page about what mindfulness means. Why is it called the way of life? Why do I call it the way of life? What is mindfulness? How do we practice? And why do we practice? And what are the benefits? And then, of course, some tools and tips and exercises. So one of the first topics I want to touch upon is, and also based on some of the answers we received in the chat, I think by now we all understand. We have gone through our life journey for several years. Some of us have grown up. We are past 50, past 60. Some of us are in our mid ages, or we are pretty young. But all of us on this call today, we have seen different times, and now we are into very different times and very interesting time. What is the lesson? What is the learning? The learning is that permanence is temporary. We accept it or not, but here is an opportunity for us to accept that life is permanently temporary. We all know that life is a continuum. There is birth, there is death. But please remember, as we always say, change is the only constant, and we have to really open our hearts, our mind, to accept that change is the only constant. We remember the good old days. Being a part of my job, I had to travel quite a bit across the world last year. The last flight I took was the week before Christmas. And I'm not going into whether I'm happy or sad about it. Probably, but the situation here is that it has helped us to learn that whatever we feel as permanent will eventually go away. So nothing is permanent. This is first lesson. Second important lesson is what eases us into this transition or to accept the reality that permanence is temporary is the acceptance. If we don't accept this fact, life will make us accept. It's like hitting a wall. What helps us to navigate our way through is to open our mind and hearts to the reality that resistance doesn't work. To ease our pain, to ease our transition, start a new normal, a new life, what we all need is the acceptance, or what we call as surrender. Surrender to the situation does not mean that we don't, sometimes we use the word fight. It's not about fighting, it is about living together, walking the path, understanding new ways of working, understanding the way the family life has changed, understanding the way the business models have changed, understanding the way going to office, going to school, socializing, and everything else has changed. So it's basically shaking hands with what is happening around, accepting, opening the heart, and welcoming the change with an open heart, accepting with grace. I call it accepting with grace because the universe cannot falter. This is the universal law. The earth, Mother Earth, the universe cannot go wrong. So we have to accept this reality and adopt to the change. Next thing, letting go of expectation. Please remember, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Expectation and resistance give rise to some problem. What is that problem? The problem is suffering. When we get hurt, when we get hit, we get momentary pain, or we get through an injury, we have some pain. Or there is a life event, we lose a loved one, our parents or someone on the family, friends. There is a period of grief. It's natural. But we can either keep suffering, or we can just accept the pain as an observer and live our life with grace that, okay, there is an event which seemingly is not what I expected, what I was looking for, but I accept, and therefore the suffering goes down. I repeat, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Thinking about it, thinking about the past, thinking about several things which did not go right, brooding over the past, this is a recipe for pain. This is a recipe for suffering. Let us give ourselves permission that it is okay to be not okay. It's okay to be not okay sometimes, few moments, some days, sometime, all the time, long time. It's okay. You will only be okay when you give yourself the permission, when we give ourselves the permission to be okay when we are not okay, that okay, I'm going through this, the world is going through this, there is a situation, but I accept it. And then when you give away the resistance and you surrender to the situation, then you become okay. It sounds counterintuitive, but I'm pretty sure that most of us have experienced the beauty of acceptance and surrender. So it's okay not to be okay, because that is the only way to be okay, isn't it? And therefore, giving permission to accept opens the doors. It opens the doors to everything in life, what we are meant for, what we are here for. This is very, very important. Another point I briefly want to touch upon is, we all talk about being before doing. You know what? We are all now high flyers. The world is globalized, flat, flights, technology, multicultural societies, multinationals, different work. We have become so engrossed. We see that if we don't keep on doing something all the time, we are losing on life. We are missing something. No, that's not true. Doing is important. But doing without being is never productive. It doesn't take you anywhere. Again, it's like just trying to push a cart without a petrol, or without the car. You're just trying to imagine things and trying to push. You will not reach anywhere. We will not reach anywhere. We are human being. Never forget. Remind yourself that we are being first, doing later, and then we will talk a bit more about being and doing, and we will practice about what does it mean. Remember the buzzword. The bottom line is that we are human beings, but we have become human doing. Remind ourselves all the time that being in the being is the way to live, and that's all about mindfulness. We'll talk about more about it. We are almost never in the present moment, because when we adopt this hat of doing, I'm a multitasker, I'm happy. We take pride in putting it on our resume and CV and talk about in meetings, I can juggle between several things. Please don't fool ourselves and anyone else. There's no need to fool our own self. There is only one way to multitask, is to do one thing at a time. I firmly believe, and I keep on telling this all the time, the only way to do multiple things is to do one thing at a time. Being busy is good, but multitasking never means doing several things at a time. It's a very misunderstood. It's the wrong definition of multitasking. Unifying mind, body, soul, and therefore thought, words, and action. So, what is being? Being basically, as we unfold this, it's about bringing our mind, body, and soul together. And as Archana talked about yoga, as we know, the word yoga means being in union. So, it's about union of mind, body, and soul. And therefore, we manifest as thoughts, words, and action being in alignment. So, whenever thoughts, words, and action, mansa, vacha, karmana, they are aligned, we become authentic. Otherwise, we try to put mask, we pretend something, we think something, we speak something, and do something else. Sometimes a part of this is used by so-called creative people in defining leadership, walking the talk. We always knew that this is all about thoughts, words, and action being authentic. The world changes around you, and the world changes inside you. So being authentic gives us the permission to be not at war with self. And when we talk in the words of science, remember, when there is a conflict between our thoughts, words, and actions, it gives rise to disorders, diseases, distress, pain, emotional liability, anxiety. And if you allow me, I can add so-called lifestyle disorders, being obese, diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, arthritis, inflammation, neurocognitive disorders. Can you believe that? It's as simple as that, or it can be as worse as that if you don't do this and believe this. And therefore, coming back to the being, coming back to our own self, being aware, being conscious. We are so distracted that sometimes we are looking into the message on the WhatsApp, on the TV while eating. So we are trying to taking pride. I'm managing my phone, I'm watching news, and I'm eating. Come on, trust me, you cannot do that. We are doing it mechanically. We are fractionated. This is not being. It's not neither being nor doing. This is a recipe for disaster. And therefore, journey to inner self. We will take this journey and we will keep reminding ourselves that how does it help. And another word which I very often use is that the first thing we need to do is, again, to allow us to unlearn, to relearn. Unless we let go of what we have learned, please allow the permission yourself that what we have learned, we probably need to unlearn, and we need to learn something new. Starting from permanence is temporary, constant is the only change is the only constant, and also being is more important than doing. Resistance is of no use. Expectations are of no use. They are a recipe for disaster, especially when we think about relationship at work and at our homes. Surrender and acceptance is the key word. So these are the things which we need to relearn all the time, remind ourselves. So now, what is mindfulness and how does it help? It's very simple. Mindfulness is not complicated. Sometimes people make it so complicated. It's about doing a practice or doing something. No, mindfulness is just being there. It's not about mind being full or mind being empty. It's just being as we are, as you are at any given point of time, but being together in your thought, words, and action. And although it was practiced in our Sanatan Dharma for thousands of years, probably much more than that, but and then it is also involved into a lot of our rituals. Many of our rituals in Sanatan Dharma, which were about drawing things, which were about some puja ceremonies and all. Many of these activities, when you go through that in a state of mindfulness, you're actually already meditating, so you are multiplying the benefits. And the rituals were supposed to be a part of your being, to get you back to from doing to the being. And mindfulness has been differently described and ascribed in different religions, in different philosophies, and different parts of the world. So it's a secular practice. It is about the way of life. It is not tied to a single religion. It is about being in the being, as I said, just being there, just being present. Why I want to say this repeatedly? Remember, we as humans, we get at least 70,000 thoughts every day. We get more than 70,000 to 100,000 thoughts every day. Our attention span is so short. And trust me, in the last 15, 20 minutes we have been together, our minds would have wandered. It's natural. How we can get rid of the thoughts, how we can smile at the thoughts coming and going and come back to the being. That is mindfulness. Being in the present moment. Life is a series of present moments. There is no past, there is no future. There is only present. There is only present. It's only now moment. So life is a string of present moments. So this is about mindfulness. It's a state of being aware every single moment of our lives. State of being aware. So being in the now, how it can help you to be mindful. You don't have to do fancy things. You don't have to turn upside down and stand on the wall. It's just about being in the now like an observer. Sakshi Bhav. All our ancient saints and ages, they already knew this. Any person, any situation, anything which is around us is a teacher, is a guru. Don't identify yourself, ourselves with that situation or that catastrophe or that good thing or the bad thing, because everything shall pass. So being that Sakshi Bhava, being an observer, is the best way to be in the now. And the Western philosophers use the term, the power of now and practicing now. This is great, but this is the context of how we do it and we get over the hassles of the modern life. So today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the mindfulness on the go, and then we will practice it together. So mindfulness on the go, what does it mean? As I said, you don't need a fancy room and a $10,000 chair or sofa or a couch and the temperature and 4 a.m. in the morning. If you're doing it, that's fine. But if you don't have it, it doesn't make any difference at all. It's mindfulness on the go, like the coffee on the go. Every single action you take up in your sleeping, waking cycle can be your mindful moment. It's very simple. You have to give yourself permission, being aware, being conscious every moment, that every action you're taking, every activity you're involved, whether it's walking, whether it's driving, whether it's eating food, whether it's cleaning house, cooking, chopping vegetables, just anything. It is mindfulness on the go if you are aware of what you're doing, if your mind is not wandering anywhere. Okay. Let me also tell you some of these things, and I know this, all of us in this group, we are all very aware of the benefits of mindfulness. Well, this is not a religious practice. What we are talking about, someone describes it very differently. Okay, tell me, show me the data, show me the evidence. Oh, how does it benefit? I can tell you today, there is loads of data, there is tons of evidence to show the benefits which you can be measured by scientific means in the lab, by the doctors, by the scientists. Mindfulness, being aware, being conscious, being in the state, and this is a meditative state. I haven't touched upon meditation. Mindfulness is basically a meditative practice. Meditation, there are 112 types of dhyan or meditation practices. Mindfulness or being aware of anything is the bottom line for all of them, simplest form of it. It has physical, mental, and social benefits. It decreases the stress. It decreases anxiety. It improves mood. It changes the milieu, the interior milieu. It changes the thought process. It brings in happiness and joy. All of us on this call, there is one thing, if there is one thing we all want in this life, is be happy, right? And here is the magic recipe. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's such a gift, such a precious gift. We all should cherish this. We should know how important this is. It doesn't cost anything. You can't lose it. It's going to be with us. It also improves focus, attention, productivity, cognition, memory, analysis, planning, prioritization. It will also help you for financial planning. It will also help you for retirement planning. It will help you for studies planning. All right. And therefore, it helps us to behave much better, think much better, be with ourselves, both at home and at work. If you really want to look into the structure and function of the brain, It changes the structure of the brain. The areas of the brain which are associated with fear, depression, anxiety, phobia, and all of the negative emotions, those areas shrink over a period of time. And the areas which are associated with happiness, joy, decision making, as I said, cognition, mood, social relationship, planning, analysis, logic, they improve. The brain mass changes, the gray matter changes. Those areas have significant changes that can be picked up by machines and can be shown. It also changes the body inflammation and diseases. It changes the inflammatory state, and inflammation is touted today as one of the most important determinant of several lifestyle disorders, whether diabetes, obesity, prediabetes, metabolic syndrome, PCOS, hypercholesterolemia, high blood pressure, dementia, arthritis, different skin disorders, allergic disorders. All of these disorders, inflammation is the backbone of these problems. And with mindfulness, it has been found that the inflammatory markers as measured in the labs, they go down. And also, not to say that the sensation of the pain and the feeling, everything goes down. Even the pain, when you do mindfulness practice, if there is a pain because of a problem like arthritis, or if there is an injury, the sensation of pain goes down. Sleep, by now sleep will be improved to a large extent. Insomnia is again a modern age new world problem. So this gets improved. The quality of the sleep, the depth of the sleep improves over a period of time. And of course, initially, if the duration is less, the duration sets back to normal, and then the quality of the sleep, so you get up fresh in the morning. And remember, sleep is the best antioxidant. Sleep is the best antioxidant. So with this, let's now move to doing some of the practices. Why this is a state of being? How do we achieve our default state? One of the important things we should remember is that we have a miracle tool, an anchor for mindfulness and coming back to our awareness. Sometimes when we are doing our puja and other ceremonies, we take the rosary, the mala, right? Or we do the karmala. But then I'm going to give you a mala which you will never lose, which you will never forget, and doesn't cost you anything. And that's your breath. Breath is our anchor of life. Breath is the miracle of life. Our life is a series of breath. We live life breath to breath. So when our mind wanders, whenever we get lost in doing what we are doing, come back to the breath. Remember, breath is going to be our anchor in some of the practices we are going to do today. Okay? With this, now I invite you to come with me on a short trip to do some mindful exercise, some normal practice. And as I said, this is just being where you are, the way you are. You don't have to change your gears into different suits and all, or take off or wear it sneakers and anything else. With this, again, I invite you to go on this journey for a few minutes together with me. Okay, so with this, if you want to close your eyes, I will appreciate that. If you want to keep them open, it is okay as well. No strict rules. Do what you feel good about. I find it better with closed eyes. Close your eyes. Now gently position yourself on the chair, sofa, couch, bed, floor, or wherever you are. You want to change your position to a comfortable one, just move a little bit around with a chair so that you are feeling yourself with your closed eyes. And if you're keeping your arms on the side rest, keep them gently over there. Now try to feel yourself sitting on the sofa, couch, bed, or the floor with the closed eyes. Take a deep breath. Five more deep breaths. Not forced breathing, just deep breath. You don't have to exhaust. We are not preparing for athletic performance. We are just taking deep breath too. Come back to our elixir of life, miracle of life. Now feel your weight or where you are sitting on the chair, sofa, your weight on the hips and the sensation of the seat and the weight and the contact of the arms, forearms on the chair you are sitting and the feet on the floor. And with this and the closed eyes, visualize the wall in front of you, the desk you are having with your phone, computer, lamp, the color of the wall in the front, and on your right with the closed eyes, just mentally visualize, no need to open and turn your head. The wall on your left or the window on the left, and the ceiling of the room with the fan, the light, and the aircon, and the wall on the back, and the floor, the bed in the room, the cupboard in the room, and any other thing in the room. The humming noise of your computer, of the aircon, any other noise in the room. Just listen to that, and if you lose connection with yourself and connection to follow what I'm saying, come back to your breath and you will be instantly connected. And with this, now let's do a quick body scan. Let us try to scan and run our mental eyes over parts of our body. While you do this, release and relax that part of the body. After feeling the sensation there, any funny sensation, pain, crawling, discomfort, tightness, let us start with the top of the head, front of the forehead, front of the head, right eyebrow, right upper lid, left upper lid, right lower lid, left lower lid. Now relaxing your eyes and the vision, try to focus on the galaxies millions of miles away and relaxing your accommodation. This is an area where we store our emotions, anxiety, and feeling. Relax and release. Come back to breath if you lose connection. Right side of the cheek, left side of the cheek, right ear, left ear, upper lip, lower lip, chin and the lower part of the neck. Another important area where many of us store our anxiety. The byproduct and side effects of being in a state of doing. Release and relax. Focus on the back of the head. Release and relax back of the neck and the front of the neck. Feel any sensation of anything. Just feel with the Sakshi Bhava, being an observer of any feeling, situation, anything. Bring your attention to your left hand, back of the left hand, the wrist, the forearm, the elbow, left arm, left shoulder, front of the chest, left side, back of the back on the back, upper back, the mid back, and the lower back on the left side. Upper abdomen on the left side, lower abdomen, left side of the thigh, left knee, left leg, top of the left foot, and the sole of the left foot. Scan gradually and quickly, relaxing and releasing any situation, any feeling. Let's come back to the right hand, top of the right hand, right wrist, right forearm, right elbow, right arm, right shoulder, right side of the chest, right side of the back, upper back, lower back. waist, right hip, right thigh, right knee, right leg, right ankle, right foot, top of the foot, and the sole of the foot. Release and relax. Now imagine you are standing some distance from your body, visualizing and scanning it from top to bottom. And at the back from top to bottom, releasing and relaxing on the right side and the left side. Take 3 deep breaths while being in this state of being, connecting to yourself. With this now, let us take a short stroll. Come out of the home, the room we are here. As we go out, we go to a garden. We see a garden full of beautiful roses. It's morning time and you see the roses all around you. As far as you can see beautiful red roses, yellow roses, and the roses with the pink colors. And the nice fragrance of these roses, and you're walking barefoot in this garden with the nice green grass below your feet, feeling the sensation, the aroma, the fragrance, and looking at the beautiful roses. Keep walking. And the morning twilight, the morning, feeling the dew under your feet. As you keep walking, you see some trees on both the sides, gently swaying in the air. The morning singing chorus of the birds chirping is starting. Remember, birds make it a habit to sing in the morning, at the start of the day. And they also sing and celebrate their accomplishment at the end of the day before they go to sleep in their nests. Chirping of the bird and the trees and the cedar incense. Keep walking. Now we are in a forest. Keep walking in this jungle. Keep talking to these trees who have been around for hundreds of years with their aura, with their connection. We are one consciousness. And while we keep walking, and the morning sunrise is about to happen, we reach a beach in front of us. Wow, beautiful golden sand. Walking barefoot on this beach, the palm trees, coconut trees swaying in the morning wind, chirping of the wind. And as we walk and see the horizon, we see the golden hue just before the sunrise. And the cosmic sound of the ocean, the waves hitting the shores. One consciousness, the cosmic sounds. Keep walking on the sand, enjoying the morning fresh air and the sand below your feet. The golden yellow sun is now rising gradually. You see the golden ball of fire. Wow, we are a part of this universe. We are a microcosmos of the same universe with millions of planets and galaxies. We are a cosmic dust. We are a same tribe family, living, non-living, charagochar, jeev, jeev. Wow, what a beautiful scene. The sun is rising, and you're looking at it. And now we gradually start walking back to our being, with this being back to a place where we are. While we are here, gradually walking back, go back to your breath. Keep anchoring, keep anchoring, keep anchoring. Focus on the breath. You can focus on the abdomen, movement of the abdomen, going in, sucking in when you're breathing, you're exhaling, and when you're Inhaling movement of the abdominal part. And while you come back to the place where we started sitting, come back to the sound, the humming, the white noise, and our position in this room. And imagine a golden white, a big, broad light falling on the top of your head from the universe, like you're putting honey in a bucket and pouring it over your head. With this sensation, feel this golden light coming all over your body. This is a universal cosmic energy of Om. While it drenches you from top to bottom, it's soaking you inside out. It is actually soaking every single cell of your body, every single organ of your body. In the brain, spinal cord, the nerves, the heart, lungs, vessels, arteries, all our glands in the body, all organs in the abdomen, diaphragm, stomach, intestine, kidneys, anything and everything, all your muscles and all your bones, all each unit, each cell is now fully drenched. And with this, all our cells, the DNA of our cells is now smiling and laughing, being rejuvenated. We are losing all the past memories, the memories of pain, fear, grief, anxiety, distress. Our DNA is rewiring. The meditation and mindfulness, they change our DNA. They upregulate our good genes, which prevent diseases and make us healthy, and they downregulate or turn off the bad genes. And this is the moment to do it with this cosmic light, which is dripping down in each of your cell. You're smiling and laughing. Each organ system, each cell in the body is doing it. What a feeling, what a pleasant feeling. Now with this, I would now give you some tips, tricks, and some tools to quickly do some practices for our everyday life in what we are doing. We don't need hours and hours of practice every day, but we only need 24 hours of mindfulness. Is that counterintuitive? No. When we convert each activity and each action into this, life is a mindful, meditative state. And now I invite you to go to your bathroom and take the mindful shower. Go to the bathroom, get your towel, get your soap, fix the temperature of the water, and in the next 1.5 to 2 minutes, open the shower and allow this water droplets to run from the faucet like the shower of home. Did you realize that when you are in shower, your mind keeps wandering, that now after this, I have to quickly dress up and I have my Zoom call starting at 9 and I have to catch the train. I have to take my car out and drive to the office. I have to drink my coffee and I cannot do it. I have to order this today. I have to fill my credit card and payments and do all of this. No, my dear friend, don't lose out on those precious moments. The water droplets falling on you have been around in this universe for millions of years. Each droplet has been around for millions of years. Aha, so powerful, so energetic. Let them fall on each part of your body in the temperature you like, and the humming and the noise of the splattering of the of the droplets. And then the essence of the application of the soap and the water and the washing. And when you come out and use the towel, ah, to again reaffirm being there with yourself, these precious pearls of Om which you have collected during your bathing and washing, to remain in your body, percolate there. Go back to your breath again. Two breath, deep breath, not forced breath. And with this, I invite you to come to your dining table with your breakfast. No books, no phone, no iPad, no news, nothing, just you and your breakfast with your loved ones. Remember, the dining table is not a place of having food. It's a place of sharing love. It's a place of communication. It's a place of sharing loving kindness. Feel the aroma, the fragrance. Look at your bowl of foods. Look at your yogurt. Look at your porridge or bread or sandwich or whatever you're having. Your upma, your poha, your idli, your dosa, vada, paratha, anything. Look at it. Savor the feeling and then dip it and have it. Feeling the morsel in your mouth, enjoying every single moment of it, the taste, the flavor. Not getting distracted and looking into the eyes of your loved one on the table and inside you if you are alone on the table. Not being anywhere else, not being in the office or in your car or in the cab or in the train. No, just being there, fully present, savoring each moment. And then while you finish your breakfast with your cup of tea, coffee, juice, or whatever, or a glass of water, or your green tea, or if you don't take a water, just take sips of water, that's fine. Thanks everyone, thank you, and then we'll get up for it. Take 3 deep breaths again. Coffee break for friends in the office, with friends in the office or at home. Tea break. Bringing your tea together. Cups around, the hot water, the aroma, the smell, the fragrance, the nice flavor, whether it's green tea, rooibos tea, any tea you like, or your masala tea, cardamom tea, or the coffee, or the filter coffee. Sip your coffee as if this is the last sip of your life. What would you do if you are told that this is the last sip of your life? This is the last cup of your life. Feel the aroma, feel the taste. Do it. Keep feeling, keep relaxed. And those of you who know what tea drinking ceremony means, you can relate to it. And then, once you finish, take 3 deep breaths again. Come back, feel yourself on the chair, sofa, couch, bed, floor. Deep breath, feel your weight of your bottom on the chair and your arms and your feet wherever it is. And the nice sound here and the light above you and the fan and the AC. Remember, while you're working at home, preparing your sandwich, chopping vegetables, sweeping the floor, filling in washing machine, even when you go out, take your car out, walking down in the elevator. Every single moment, opening the door of your car, sitting inside, closing, adjusting yourself on the seat, getting the seatbelt on, looking into the meter, making sure the handbrake is off, putting the key in the ignition or pressing the switch. Every single moment has to be there. It does not mean that you have to wander in your mind. Sitting in the car, you gradually see around, look in the mirror, follow the safe practice mindfully and take your car gradually outside the parking lot and outside your place, society, condo, location you live, and drive down the road mindfully looking at the red light, the yellow light, and the green light, being fully cognizant of the beautiful sky, the road, the air, the other people around you. Okay. Every single activity can be done. So I invite you to consider and turn each of your daily activity into your bursts of mindful activity. What is the shortest time which will benefit you? I already preempted your question. One breath. If you are mindful with one deep breath, you are meditating and mindful for that moment. Can I do it several times a day? Yes, million times a day, as many breaths every time you are doing. Do I need to find 30 minutes every day and put it in my to-do list? If you have, why not? If not, it's fine. No, no, no. What is the right time for doing mindfulness and meditation? How much do we do to get all the scientific benefits you said? How long? I would advise you to do series of this in bursts or together, just 20, 30 minutes a day. No, 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 I'm very busy. I have a global role. I have so many things. I have family to raise. I'm very busy. My friend, if you're very busy, then you need to do mindfulness and meditative practices consciously at least 1 hour every day, because mindfulness will stretch your time. It makes you more focused and productive. And therefore, when you are multitasking or you're busy, you will have more time in your 24 hours to do this. Let's take 3 deep breaths again with our closed eyes. And with this practice of reflections, visualization, thinking, daily chores, activities, I will now take you into something which is again continuing our practice and also a part of mindfulness and practice. Even if you do what we are going to do now in the next 3 minutes, that's enough. If you're doing it, being fully aware, being fully conscious, being fully present. With your closed eyes, make a namaste, bring your palms together in this pose. We will all together in our mind say a gratitude prayer. We will say, thank you for being with me in this life. Thank the top 3 people who come to your life you want to be grateful for. Your deity, your guru, your guardian angel, your parents, your spouse, your kids, your friends. Think of anything, anyone, 3 to 5 people who have made a difference in your life. And while you're breathing, say, thank you very much for being in my life. Thank you very much for being in my life. Thank you, God, for being in my life. Thank you. Thank you. With this, I prepare. Now be thankful for the 5 things you have: your job, your home, 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, okay, the cooling, the heating, the water, and everything else in your life that you do. Think of the 3 things and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And then with this gratitude, now we have to do one consciousness practice by opening the vault of our heart. Now with this pose, focus your attention to the center of your chest. Open the vault of your heart with loving kindness, with unconditional love. There is nothing like love. There is no word like love. The word is unconditional love, which is without judgment, which is something which is without expectation, nothing in return. I accept you as you are. That is love. That is gratitude. So open the vault of your heart and let's all send loving kindness and wish everyone on this call being coming together, thanking each other and sending warm wellness wishes. Extend the vault of your heart because the love, knowledge, gratitude, they all multiply, amplify by distributing. Keep opening the vault of your heart, go out of your place, go out of this call, think of your family, friends, colleagues, people in your society, locality, in the nation, and on this planet, connecting to the oneself, one consciousness, and to the every living being and the non-living being and the universe and the cosmos as one beat, beating together and wishing everyone well. May you be kind, may you be well. May I be kind, may I be well. May you be kind, may you be well. May you be kind, may you be well, may I be kind, may I be well. With this one consciousness now, gradually rub your palms together and then keep them on your closed eyes for a moment and allow yourself that now when you open your eyes, you are going to look at yourself and everyone around you and the people in your family and friends and work and the locality and the world in a different light. You are going to look the world in different light. Gradually open your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths now. Open your eyes. And with this, we are coming to the close of our tools and tips and practices. And before I give back to Archana ji for our questions, you can keep typing your questions in the chat box now. I'll keep talking. If you're able to see your screen, you will see stay home. I found this nice cartoon and I'm using this stay home as a metaphor. It is not about only the lockdown. Stay home is about being in your own being in the awareness, being in the self, being conscious. It's a metaphor. And many of us, I'm aware, have used the lockdown to unlock ourselves, to come back to ourselves, to bring back the beauty of human being the being again from doing. So with this, we have taken almost an hour on some discussions, talking something. And Archana ji, the floor is all yours to help us answer the questions. I'm very
Okay,
happy
thank
to
you.
take on the questions.
Yes, thank you so much. It was a great, wonderful session. I mean, I felt when I was doing this, I really get this chance to experience. I do give always. So I felt like everything is going in slow motion, everything is calm, everything is relaxed. So it was a wonderful experience, definitely. Meanwhile, I'm looking forward for the questions from everyone. Yeah, and it was, I mean, I was taking a lot of notes for myself, so it was a great session. And like today in my session, and coincidentally I mentioned that you know, all human beings have that ability to create happiness in this moment rather than staying in past or overthinking, overanalyzing, over planning about future. So we all have ability if we put our mind and heart into that. So with that, I would like to take some questions. So yeah, let's please everyone keep sending your message questions. I'll go through them and I will check. I will be asking to Shailendra ji. Okay, so the first question, yes. You want to take it, please? You can.
Archana ji, go ahead. Why don't you just repeat it for the benefit of everyone? This is a very good question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so the very first question we have from Vara Prasad ji. The question is, when we look at cosmos with its millions of suns and planets, do we feel inconsequential or do we feel special?
So thank you very much. This is a very, very important and a very interesting question. So please remember, one of the things which I tried to repeat in between was that we are a part of one universe, one consciousness. So we are a part of the whole system. And that makes us feel very ordinary. The planet has been here for millions of years and it will be here for millions of years. I hope so. We come and go. So we are very ordinary, but we are not ordinary, we are extraordinary. Why? Because we are a cosmic dust. Our constituent, when you scientifically try to dissect them and look into their elements of what we are composed of, and even including the consciousness, the chetna, the soul, we realize that it is already existing at a larger level in the whole universe. So when you look into the whole universe, we look at two things. One is that, see, I am a part of this system or universe, so I am one with everyone. That's one. Secondly, other good point, good question Mr. Varaprasad is asking, does it make us feel inconsequential? I would say it makes us feel more humble. Look at this, what we can control, what we can let go. But having said that, we are one. So when we say namaste or namaskar, we all know that. We say that I am here and I am praying, I'm wishing the God in you, the Paramatma in you. So basically we are one, we are divine, we are one connected. And therefore, sometimes I use these words that our body, our physical body and our mind is a channel or a way or a tool to go through the journey of sharir or body to mind, man, to the atma, soul, and ultimately to Paramatma or the divine soul or the divine one. If you say Paramatma, it has nothing to do with being atheist or not being atheist or anything else. It's just about being in the being of the consciousness, the larger universe. I hope this helps. So we are all one. We are extraordinary. We have immense potential to identify with the whole universe. And we have also to be humble and conscious of that what beautiful universe we are living in. We marvel at that. So we should not be, it takes away the ahankar, the pride from us as well, and makes us more humble as well, while we reflect on this. Thank you.
I think I lost the connection. So I'm back now.
Oh, sorry, Archana ji. And yeah, so we don't see any questions, but questions are very much welcome. If anyone has any questions, so this is our opportunity or moment. And
yeah.
I'm here to learn from you because no one is a master or a guru. Remember, I would add one word here, Archana ji. When I say guru, all the gurus in the world, you are your own guru. The guru is to take you to the door, to show you the door. The guru is always with us to kill what we are not, so that we can realize our true self. We can become what we are. It takes a little while for these things to sink in, but trust me, you are profound. You are Paramatma in yourself. Thank you, Archana ji.
Thank you. There are two questions coming up. So would you like to take them? The first one is, what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation? Very
Great
common.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So mindfulness and meditation are sometimes used interchangeably. So when I briefly mentioned that when we say meditation, there are different practices of meditation. Some of them are used by body and mind movements and all, but all the meditative practices have a common denominator or a common thing of being conscious and being aware. And therefore, when you're chopping vegetable, that's your part of meditation. Because when you're chopping vegetable and when you're cooking the food, if you are in meditative mode, then you will not serve food, you will serve love. Make sense? Do you get it? So mindfulness is the common denominator. The common backbone of all meditative practices is being there. People have used different techniques and tools. Some people use dancing, art forms. Some people use painting. There are caricatures, there are books. People use aroma, incense. People use lights. People use different practices. Breathing practices. Is one practice better than the other? It depends what you want to do. Where do you want to get to? You can try and learn. But remember, the basis of all of this is being mindful. So I use mindfulness meditation or mindfulness and meditation more interchangeably and not as separate. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have next question: how to teach mindfulness to children and youth?
This is a very interesting question, and I can tell you some of my experience. I was sitting last year in one of the schools session for career counseling, and the kids are like in their secondary school and they have to start looking for subjects, choosing the universities, and questions like that. Oh, can you tell us that 30 years from now which profession would be the important one, and those kind of questions, and then when I talk to them, and I realize that sometimes there is so much anxiety in our kids and the youth, and sometimes a lot of this is transferred from us as parents. And then I reflected on myself, and I also did some research on this, and I realized that if we have to teach them, we have to involve them into what they love and like the most. Let me repeat. If there is a game, it's a game of tennis, or it is a board game, or if it is a painting, or it is a dance form, we should promote them to do that mindfully. That's it. Gamification. They don't have to, they will never do that. You ask a kid to sit on a chair for 30 minutes and do this and do all the procedures, he will never do that again in his life. What you have to do is that you have to take him to the way and involve him mindfully, full awareness. If he's into music, support him, getting the instrument. Oh, beautiful. What an instrument you have. What are the chords you're learning? What are the rhythms? What are the meters you're learning? What do you need? Did you look at these colors? Did you look at this? He gets engrossed and goes on his journey. We can do that in the board games. We can do that in drawing, paintings, and caricature. For the kids, it's a very good giving them drawing books, giving them simple exercises, giving them simple puzzles and quizzes is a nice way of getting them into mindful state of mind, because kids, they get distracted on the other way, but they don't get in the mode of doing like all of us. So all those gamification techniques, and nowadays there are some apps and all, I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend that for the youths, involving them into the activities which are in line with their passion. Listen to them, understand what are the top three things. And I can tell you the kids are very aware. The young youth, they want to go out and do community practice, social practice. Allowing them to do that with full steam, supporting them, providing them resources and guiding them, working with them, hand holding them, and telling them that, okay, I'll come with you to this nursing home today and let's talk to this old gentleman who has paralyzed waist down for the last 2 years. Let's learn about, listen his life story. That is meditation. That is mindfulness. So once you get them, and when you can stretch this state of being mindful, you can gradually start inculcating. How do you feel? Remember, I have not went into the depth of some of the practices. Mindfulness itself is addictive. It's also used for de-addiction and behavioral problems and changes. And the psychologists, they use several gaming tools and sports and other activities to drive the mind away from destructive behaviors and to drive to the constructive behaviors. And in this game, don't give him what he doesn't like. Give him what he loves. Like, just give him a a blunt knife to create a sandwich, cut the corners of the bread and do it if he loves it. How beautiful is that? So today my job is to help everyone, each of one of us here, to understand that mindfulness is the way of life. It is not an exotic thing where you have to spend thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars and buy a course or go through an app directly. You can convert each of your practice into being mindful. So coming back to the kids and the youth, this is my recommendation. This is my suggestion. This is in my limited experience, this is what I have found most useful.
That's a great tip, definitely. So I have one question, if you can take it quickly. And this question, I very often get it in corporate sessions. So they say that, like we say that mindfulness is being aware in this present moment. But their job, or in order to move ahead in life, we need to keep planning. We need to keep thinking about future. So if we are doing that, how can we bring mindfulness? So I want to hear from you, your perspective on this.
Wonderful. This is a great question. And I love this, Ashanaji, because, I have gone through this journey myself, and some of us on the call might have had a chance to look at my New Year blog, and I would be very happy to share. And Shushanji, if you can just share that with the group later. I touched upon exactly some of these questions, because one of the misunderstanding all we have is that when we are in the now, we are losing something on future. We are not planning, and we need to keep. This is exactly the point. Basically, the future, your future is in now. When you are planning, you are in now. You are not in future. That is the first thing we should learn. When we are planning for future, we are still in now. So it is not counterintuitive to plan, but you have to do it here. You don't have to go into the mode of anxiety that what will happen. So these are two different things, and we have to create a chiasm between these two things. We have to create a gap between these two things. And when we plan, as I briefly said, there is scientific data to tell that prioritization exercise, planning, long range planning, financial planning, and these kind of things can be improved. In fact, INSEAD and other institutes, they have introduced already mindfulness in their sessions for MBA grads. And the simple reason for this is that because you're at any point of time in your life, you're neither in the past or not in the future. It is your thought, and you have to get rid of those 70,000 thoughts and let them fly away as a sakshiva. All you have to do is to be doing it now in the present moment. So planning, learning from the past is again in the present moment. Planning for the future is in the present moment. It's not counterintuitive. Remember, what you do is that you stretch your time, you are more focused, you are more productive. When you are giving yourself the permission that I am not looking at the consequences, I'm looking at my planning with a Sakshi Bhav, not as a consequence. What if it goes wrong? What if this is better than the other thing? No, not at all. When you get into that melee, it becomes very conflicting. The inner conflict arises. So what you have to do is that you have to observe what I'm planning, what is my objective, what are my options. Then your cognition, reasoning, analysis, and judgment would be unclouded, and you can just plan it better. So remember, the bottom line is that you are never in the future, you are always in the present moment. So planning is good, but planning should be done being fully present in the present moment.
Thank you so much. And it is reassuring that this is what I also think. And I have been telling the same thing. And it's great. Thank you so much. Thank you for this informative and very practical session. I think everybody can take away a lot of things from this session and try to follow it in your daily life. You can take small bits of it and try to follow it. And that is how you can form the routine and form the habit of mindfulness. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I think there were questions, but because of time, maybe you can just connect to Shailendra ji personally if you have any questions. So with that, I want to hand over to Rajesh ji to give vote of thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Namaste all. Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thanks to Hindu Center, Dr. Varprasad, uh, Susain, and Management Committee of Hindu Center to approve this health series talk. Then Dr. Shailendra Bajpai is one of the icon and leading doctor in the field of diabetes as well as mindfulness and meditation. Thanks to moderator Archana Amlapure. Archana Amlapure is running her own yoga studio in Singapore. Uh, Thanks to all the participants. Thanks for your active participation. It's a very nice and wonderful session. I personally learned many things. Uh, and the last, I would like to thanks to Susain. Is he's managing the whole technology part of this session. In the last, I would like to ask, just give an observation from Dr. Varprasad, the president of Hindu Center. Thanks again. Dr. Varprasad, please.
It is my great pleasure to thank Dr. Bajpai. I think, as everyone has seen, it is a great experience for us to really understand. We've heard about this term mindfulness, being in the present and so on, but today we have got a full experience of it and how to take this to our daily activities and daily life. So thank you so much for this. If you want to hear about our Hindu Center activities, you can sign on to our WhatsApp group. The number is shown there, 8768-0532. Just add this number to your phone and add join, and we will put you onto the broadcast list. This is not a two-way number, it's a one-way number. So your number will not be shown to anybody. It's on the screen right now. So thank you, Archana. Thank you, Dr. Bajpai. Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Susain. And thank you, everyone, for joining in this evening. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Namaste.